We are live. Welcome.
Okay. Hey, I just wanted to let you know, Pete. I know very little about crypto. My background is futures trading, so I'm very used to tracking things against their cash value, just basic commodities. And what I sort of set myself up for trying to track that tonight because I bought Bitcoin, but I also bought the Bitcoin Gold and the Bitcoin Cash just to see how they traded against each other because I was looking at the daily ranges of Bitcoin Cash versus Bitcoin. And I mean, Bitcoin's expensive. I mean, there's no question, $6,500 or whatever. That's not something that everybody can jump into. But I was looking at the cash, and I just wanted to see if they were tracking together. And at first, they weren't. I mean, they sort of are. Like the basic chart of Bitcoin versus Bitcoin Cash, much better on the Bitcoin thing. Just from structural, I mean, it looks like they found support in Bitcoin. Doesn't look that way in Bitcoin Cash. And I'm watching these two track, and I'm seeing one that's it's sort of like buying a commodity with massive leverage, and I'm seeing one jump a lot more. So I'm sort of stoked about watching this tonight because I'm just trying to take what I know about trading futures and put it into this.
I think a lot of people are still trying to figure out what's going on with Bitcoin and crypto in general. I mean, there's not a question there's a trading opportunity. It's a question of, are you trading it or are you looking at something as an investment for a longer term time period? I think a lot of the volatility that we saw earlier in the year has basically been sucked out of this market. But I think that's actually long-term a good thing because I think the volatility was sucked out because there's a lot more regulation playing a factor in all of these markets right now. And I think from I don't know if this is the right word, but from it becoming a real security, it's a really good thing in the long run. I think a lot of people jumped in because it was like a pirate market where nobody knew what was going on, and you could make or break a lot of money. But I'll give you like a story. Just one of my friends who's a really super heavy crypto trader and has been for about 2 years now. He was telling me a story just yesterday, or definitely this week, whatever the day it was, about one of the crypto wallets got shut down again. Like I forgot exactly what the heck it was, but it was either a crypto exchange or a place where you deposit money that gets transferred into crypto and then you could make trades. It's really bizarre the way that the whole thing works. But anyway, he was looking to get active again because he just came back from a trip to Boston, and he didn't end up doing it because he got busy with something else, and that wallet got shut down that day. He would have lost his money.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's not like it happened a year ago. This is like this week.
Hey Pete, I'm curious. Is there any way for us to swap screens? Can I share my screen?
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. Let me stop sharing.
I don't know how to. Okay, let me see if I can grab a quick share here. I want to show you guys something because in futures, this would be a stat arb situation. Okay, so here is Bitcoin over here. You guys can see my screen now?
Yes.
All right, so you have basic support coming up off of the prior high here, right? I mean, obviously these are short-term charts, but a lot of stat arb is, right? So you've got an arbitrage situation because you've got Bitcoin finding support, right? And moving up. Look at Bitcoin Cash, right? It hits resistance. There's no prior high that it's coming off of support, but it's following the same mechanism, right?
Yeah.
So you see Bitcoin start lifting, and you see Bitcoin Cash, and there's at no support level would you buy that, right? But if Bitcoin starts lifting, and it did, and it beat it. Look, if you look back, Bitcoin Cash was still taking a dive when we found a bottom with this. I'm not a chart pattern guy, but that's a hammer or something, right?
Yeah.
And sure enough, look, we get this massive strength up off of it, and my natural instinct as a futures trader is to watch cash markets against the futures. And rarely are you ever going to see the same chart pattern at all. But when you find support in one, you can be damn sure that it's going to happen in the other one, and it may happen a little bit later or a little bit before. So it was interesting to me. So I'll turn it back over to you. This is really like my first time to look at it from that same perspective, that there's you've got these three instruments. One's a gold derivative, one's allegedly a cash derivative, and the other one is Bitcoin, which obviously is going to float a lot more than anything else. So I don't know. I thought it was cool. I'm looking at this and I'm saying there's no support that should be found here in Bitcoin Cash. And sure enough, Bitcoin finds support off of pretty standard, chart patterns and candlesticks.
Yeah, it's actually very interesting. And Rick and I have been in the equities markets for a long time. And Rick, I don't know if you remember on the trading side in equities, in the early 2000s, like right after the dot-com boom and everything like that, there was this huge wave of trading education that essentially did exactly what DB was just talking about. But it was designed around two things. It was designed around the futures markets always gave a lead indicator before equities moved. And if the futures didn't move, there was what was known as lead stocks back then. So back, I guess I'm really dating myself, but exactly what you just said, DB, you would, if the futures weren't that indicative, like on that big day, you'd end up going to like Cisco or Intel or JDS Uniphase, like one of those NASDAQ stocks always got all the buying and selling before it hit the rest of the market. So you always had one of either the futures or one of those leading stocks, whatever it happened to be that month that was the most in play, would lead the market, and then it would hit. So you buy the tertiary or the secondary stocks, and like it could have been within like 30 seconds, but if you were day trading, that was an eternity.
Yep. Right. Yeah, absolutely.
So it's pretty interesting. It's actually kind of cool that you brought that up because I haven't really thought about that in a long time. But there was books being written about trade the noodle, follow the noodles. They call the NASDAQ futures the noodles. So you'd follow the noodles, and the noodles would work. You'd follow the 1 minute chart of the NASDAQ futures because obviously internet boom, NASDAQ was the big stock. The big trading back then. The big board stocks were really kind of like. Look, personally, I didn't even trade a listed stock for 3 years after I started trading in 2000 because it was all NASDAQ. You didn't even need to go to the big board. That just flooded my head with memories about like what it was like back then. It was Cisco, Intel, JDS Uniphase, and the NASDAQ futures, and they would always move before the buying or selling would hit the other stocks. And I mean, you could literally get in positions like 20 seconds before the rest of the market moved because you were watching those stocks. It was pretty interesting, really interesting.
Well, that's what 90% of futures trading is. If you're looking, and I guess it depends also on the time of year. Like September, October, you're focused on the SPOOs. All during the summer, you've got the Dow and the NASDAQ that are going to lead everything, and you can see it. I mean, you're looking basically at three indexes, and you're seeing one leading the other, or one drastically following the other, and it's not something that's easy to argue, right? I mean, all you have to do is be a trader who's sitting in their seat 3 to 5 days a week, and you'll see it. And I didn't have that perspective from crypto because I'm always trying to gauge it as like against, I don't know, the universe, as opposed to against a specific instrument. And I think as we see more and more, we've got a lot of cryptos that are backing in gold and trying to back in gold. And so should they follow the gold market? Well, I mean, that's really easy. It's easy to spot as a futures trader when you see that you've got a lot more paper trading than physical. And so, if you've got a coin that's backed by gold and it's lagging and gold is spiking, there's got to be an arb opportunity there to go in and not just be blindly chasing alpha on one side. And I think that's 90% of what it is making sure that your delta somewhere neutral and on those opportunities. So
it's so interesting talking about hedging, and again, I know Rick was on the risk management side of the business. I was talking to somebody yesterday, and they actually happened to be a crypto trader. We were talking about how to last as a trader in the long run, where most traders chase, I don't know if catalyst is the right word, but definitely they chase volatility in the short term for quick gains or short-term excitement in exchange for the reliably easier trades to make, but you have to be more patient for them. And it's very hard for new traders to understand that you don't have to trade all the time, but when there is something to do, you have to trade aggressively because it's easy. I hate to overstate this, but it's relatively easy to make money when it's obvious. It's just a matter of not throwing it away when you're bored. So when you have those types of things in sync or not in sync, you start to develop a pattern or systems of when to trade and when not to trade. And honestly, these are the most awesome types of conversations because there's a million ways to skin the market. And now we have 24-hour opportunity between stocks, Forex, futures, crypto. There's literally something to do all day. Like we're going to have Forex here soon. And that's, the home run in Forex is 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. or like 10 o'clock at the latest. You get that window in the morning, then the equity market's open, then you get a little bit of a break, then futures kick in, then crypto kicks in like now, later at night. It's pretty awesome to be a trader right now.
Oh, I agree. I mean, I remember vividly sitting around dying for the markets to open up in Chicago because I had nothing to do. Like you're just sitting there sort of shuffling, waiting for and it's Central Time, but I mean 8 a.m. crude would open, and you're like, thank God I have something to do. And then, and then they started, adding different stuff. But I mean, Pete, I'd equate it to walking into a casino, and there's a certain hour of the day where one, you shouldn't be in a casino. Period. I mean, it doesn't make there's no respectable reason to be in a casino. And you go up to the table, and the dealer has the cards fanned out, and it's like, oh, hello, sucker, sit down.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just like, there's no way. There's no way you're going to win.
Get this guy a watered down scotch. He's got a fat wallet.
Yeah, you just goose. There's nobody else in the casino, and somehow you think that it's a good idea for you to sit down. Sure.
And that's the issue we used to see a lot with day traders in an office environment is, as you were just saying before, Pete, if you're in the office, if you're at your desk, you feel like you have to trade. You have to be doing something to be productive. And what would happen is they would have a great morning trading the open, and then they would go through those real quiet, kind of the long hours of lunchtime, and they're just looking for stuff. They just be giving money away to then try and make up for it in the afternoon.
Yep. We literally had a rule in our office. When we had our office in New York City, we would tell everybody, get away from your desk and at least walk around the block. Get away for a half an hour, refresh your head, clear your head. You're not going to miss anything 99% of the time. Don't tell me the one time you went to lunch, the market ripped or tanked.
Yeah.
We used to have to almost break the day up in half where, you'd have the morning session, you clear your head, you grab something to eat, you stretch your legs, you get your head back on and come back. The only time that was different is like my strategy is very similar to DB's where we're following order flow and then looking for short-term spots to only trade in that direction if the order flow is obvious. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of traders that trade off of nothing but the much, much shorter time frame. So their main trend is the 15-minute chart, so to speak, and they'll drop down to the 5 or the 1. So they literally could be at their seat doing something all day because they'll find a trend if they have to. The problem with that is risk-reward is almost 1-to-1, so you're almost forced to trade off. And there's nothing wrong with that. You have to have the certain temperament to be glued to your desk all day, and that's a really younger trader's game where you could burn out real quick. We have less than a minute to get started here too, by the way. But that's what's so fascinating about trading. That's why I love trading. Like we could have this conversation until the sun comes up tomorrow morning, and like so many different ways to make and especially to lose money. But the most awesome thing about actually finally learning how to turn the corner, and DB, I'm sure you saw this, in your universe too. When you finally pick a strategy that you believe in and you trade nothing but that strategy, that's when you turn the corner. It's when you try and trade everything that you never have a chance of being successful.
Yeah,
sure.
Absolutely.
I mean, there's so many guys that are just they're shopping results, right? They're thinking that somebody is going to put them on the right track or whatever, and it really is only when you buckle down and your results are your results. There's nobody else to blame anything on. That's when you start really dialing in what you need to be doing. As far as I'm concerned, most of the people that I saw in the day trading space were consumers of other people's crap. Yeah. It was like, what course do I buy? What software do I buy? Whatever do I buy? And it's a way to sort of pacify yourself in the sense that it's not your fault that you're losing money. And 99% of the time, it has nothing to do with the system or anything else. It's the fact that you offload that that responsibility to somebody else. Like, oh, it's not my fault. It's not my fault I suck.
Right.
But, hey, sit down and do the work, man. I mean, it's not hard. I say that. It is hard. There's no question about it. It's hard. But it is something that anybody that can sit down and be focused on can learn a basic trading strategy.
There's not a question. We make
You just
it
have to be able to, yeah, you just have to actually be able to follow through with it. You can't do it for 2 days.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, it's a funny story, and the market's open. We'll keep going back to what's going on here. But I remember vividly after my first year of trading, I was doing exactly what you just said, where I was going back. I had a new strategy every month. 12 months. I thought I had a year's experience. I didn't. I had 12 one-month experiences, which means none of that time was cumulative.
Yep.
Yeah, if you even had 12 1 months, I'd be surprised. I bet you had 3 days, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Whatever that multiple works out to. So
Yep.
I'm not a mathematician.
Yep. Yep. So when I do the coaching now, like when like you saying how fast you can learn, you can definitely learn how to read this stuff in a relatively short period of time. It's learning how to use it and admitting the difference between chart reading and trading. They are not the same skill. Recognizing a pattern, like even you said before, I don't even know what the pattern is, but you're a successful trader. You can't even name the most basic patterns because there's a difference between analyzing 750 candlestick patterns and what it takes to get paid. They're not the same skill. And that's why most traders struggle. It doesn't matter if it's Bitcoin, stocks, it doesn't matter what it is. They don't understand there's a difference between chart reading and trading.
Yeah.
So Walter, you were in the lead there for a while, and you got.
I was going to say I was in the money shortly, man. I had a huge Ripple position that is like just sort of jumping around.
That's
And
what I have right now.
I'm around like 23, 27, 19. It just because every single tick counts. Now I'm in 15th. I love it.
This guy's got 760,000 shares of Ripple.
I have 700,000 shares of Ripple.
Wow.
Oh, well, then I'm way short. What happened? Oh, I made a bad allocation here. Somehow,
Yeah, 760.
I put Bitcoin in there, but you know what? I'm short on it, and it's paying off. So
Yeah, I'm short Bitcoin.
I will say, like for my size of 148 in Bitcoin versus my 19,000 in Ripple, Bitcoin's got me smoked. So I'm not winning on Ripple, that's for sure.
I didn't look. I only have 360,000. Oh, look, it's coming in. See, this is the same thing that we had with the trade the other day, where oh my God, look at this thing.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Hey, I just went to number 1, guys. I'm in first.
Oh, wow.
I'm getting
Wow.
hammered. I am pretty. Yeah, I'm long Bitcoin. I'm getting hammered right now. Wow.
Oh,
Wow, look at that drop. Yeah.
look at that. So I am up $5,400 in that one position.
Wow.
My Ripple position is I'm down $3 in Ripple. I mean, come on.
Look at that. Oh my God.
Just imagine that. I have 1,907. I can spell 19,007, and I am down $32.
Wow, I didn't even have to put that on the 1 minute chart. That was nasty.
Yeah, Ripple's down over 40 cents right now. So I'm in the big time negative right now.
How are they down 40 cents? It's only the entry price was 53 cents or something.
Yeah, it's probably 410.
Now it's 10. It looks like it's fluctuating pretty.
Yeah.
Looks
See,
like
these
there's
areas
a
are-
You know it's bad when we have to go in and reprogram the game to pick up extra decimal points for something.
Yeah. That's 52 cents, 40, 52 cents, 50.
Yeah,
So it's actually like
I was going to say it's like we're looking at the yen right now, and they need to add a decimal point.
Look at that spike back.
Yeah, it looks like we're right. Yep.
So was Walter out of? Yeah, Walter's off the board.
No, well, I'm in 6th place, dude.
Top 6, 10 minutes left.
Yeah. We know how this falls.
So it's
Short
so
heavy
still the
Bitcoin.
big position in Bitcoin, though. You're still good there. It's still a $4,000 position.
No, hey, I'm not complaining.
190. What is
I'm
this?
long everything in short Bitcoin, and Bitcoin's going down, and everything else is going. It's like the whole crypto market's down right now.
So this guy's got short everything
Yeah, that's why he's probably on top. Yep.
and a lot of Bitcoin. That's a heavier position in Bitcoin than we've seen.
Yeah.
I should have just gone balls out. I don't know why I don't do that. I mean, It's the way I trade everything else on this game. And tonight I was like, well, I don't know that much about crypto. I'm going to spread the wealth around.
I thought after this is what I was looking for tonight. So far, we're getting exactly the opposite, which is everybody's blowing up in crypto. I'm like, this is awesome. We're going to get another one of these, and we end up getting just the opposite. Well, so far, anyway.
Yeah.
Which Jade got? Oh, yeah, everybody who's winning is heavy short right now.
Heavy short, yep.
Yeah, so that spike down definitely helped. Now, it's a question of did it hit support here? And that's it. Because every time in the last 2 days, it's got to this level and bounced. This is nasty. This is what I was hoping for during the game. This is why I loaded up on the long side today. But
yeah.
Look, back to our conversation before the game started. Bitcoin Cash is still at the lows right now, which is why I'm saying, like, if you're watching one and one dives, look at that. It's on the tail, right? So Bitcoin's already lifted up. But Bitcoin Cash is on the. I mean, if you were short, this is like I've already watched Bitcoin bounce. You could take profit. I mean, it just.
Wow.
I don't know. I mean, that's what we do in futures. Is you're watching one market and following the other. And I mean, hey, it could crash more, but good God, if you missed the profit taking on Bitcoin,
yep.
The other one bottoming out. It's beautiful.
Wow. How much time we got left? We got 8 minutes left. This guy Tromiles is still as long as they stay weak, he's going to be in good shape here.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm pissed because I would have gone harder. I mean,
how many is he? He's got 5. Oh, he's got the cash. 542.
Oh, wait a minute. He's got Bitcoin Gold, right?
Yeah.
BTG.
Yeah. You got BTC.
I laid off the gold. I laid off the gold because I just couldn't fathom how that would come together. Damn, I'm gonna pull that chart.
Yep. BTG.
Well, I don't know. That one again, like the cash keeps hitting new lows. That one's lifting a little. But again, I mean, that's the thing. You're talking about a totally different spread on the value. You dump on something that doesn't cost that much, you get a bigger multiple. I don't know. I'm riding 6, dude. I'm happy.
Well,
Rick, how's it feel to not be on the board again?
I'm in 83rd place right now.
Do you want me to? You want me to send you a picture of what it looks like to win?
You know what? You said it last game, and I'm going opposite George mentality. Next game, everything I do, I'm doing the complete opposite, and that's gonna
send me those pics, Costanza. Send them to me. Whatever you do, I'm gonna do the opposite.
The way it's lining up, I think we're getting another push down. We're staying here. We didn't spike all the way back up, and we're below the open here on this 5-minute candle. We're gonna get another spike down here.
Oh, TikTok, man. We got
exactly.
6 minutes. 6th place. Oh, jumping to 3rd. I'm happy right now.
I'm only short 2 positions, and look, I'm actually up $1,000 in this one.
I'm short 1, and I'm down in everything except
I'm getting crushed over here in Ripple, even though it's not even freaking moving. 190.
Oh, and I have double the amount of shares you have in Ripple. I have like 700. That was always my strategy, is the Ripple strategy, because it's so cheap.
I know, but I mean,
it moves a couple of cents.
Well, and I was giving Pete a hard time before the game started. I was like, if it has a 20% of its value move during the day, it moves 11 cents. It's worth 55. That's 20%. The problem is that you got to be jacking with it all day long because it's only going to move a little bit. And I mean, look at this. I don't even know how many. My size is 19,000, and I've got a $76 P&L. I mean.
Right now you're hoping it goes between 54 and 53. That's it. Cents, 54, 53 cents.
I know. That one needs that's got to be a futures contract. Like, you need leverage. That doesn't even make sense.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. This thing is going to rip a penny.
It's like trading penny stocks all over again.
It was a period of time.
No, it's worse because it's fractions.
We were trading on the ECNs in between a penny for a while. We had a group in Amsterdam that was doing 150,000 share blocks on the ECNs in between the penny. So they trade like a lower price stock that was doing 100 million shares a month and trading at like, $5.01 to $5.01 .003 and just flipping those shares back and forth all day. It was insane. Because at that time, you can get ECN fees. You get
fees that other people didn't get unless they were either paying for it or
right. If you placed a limit order on the bid and got filled on 100,000 shares, you made $2.50 a thousand.
Yeah.
Minimum. I think actually at one point I think it was even more than that. When we were working for the Attain ECN, it was $9 a thousand.
Yep, and then more ECNs would pop up, and more like
going down again. That position's going to be good. The fact that we didn't get back above here, this price level held, and now this price level held.
Wait, you're all the way down to 93. You're at 93. You fell. Oh wait, why?
No, he's here. He's right here.
No, okay, there you are. I'm at 93.
Oh, you're talking to yourself?
Yeah, I'm sorry. At first I thought.
Hey, I'm at 70. I don't even have a payout. I'm not even entered.
So bad.
Somebody else must be loaded even heavier for this position right here, not to be rocketing up. And JP, I don't remember calling that one out before. So obviously short everything, no Bitcoin, but heavy in the other stuff, but short across the board. So the short side is completely baffling me because I thought we were going to get another run like this one.
Well, there's some panic in the crypto world because they're saying this Noble Bank either is not taking it, they think it's potentially insolvent. So, and there's I think it was that exchange Bitfinex, and Tether, one of their large banks. So I know there was a lot of concern and a lot of panic, when people were requesting money to be withdrawn and it's not happening for. I was reading almost over a month for some people.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the problem with
this. There might be a problem.
That's the problem with this whole thing.
Exactly. They're not answering the phone.
You said it earlier, Pete. It's the wild, wild west right now. It still is.
It's exactly what people come to me for coaching. I said, I'm not coaching you in Bitcoin. I said, I'm not going to talk you through or strategy or anything that for something where they could shut your account down tomorrow and you have nothing, you can't say a word about it. Cause it's
and you don't even know, where you're putting your money, and there's so many different things.
I think long term, it's not going anywhere because there's too many applications for blockchain, but this just suckered so many people in. I remember I think this was like December or January. I remember like in January, February when it spiked up and was pulling back. There were people on Facebook who were just complete idiots. Bitcoin could never go down. Just load the boat. It's not. I'm like, dude, you have no idea what's coming out of your mouth because you're talking to like housewives that were like saying, "What should I do in Bitcoin?" And I'm like, dude, you are an idiot.
Well, there were people literally soliciting people to try and buy Bitcoin at that time.
1 minute.
Everybody.
1 minute.
Everybody wanted.
I love it.
I'm in 84th, holding strong.
Yeah.
All right, so DB's buying beers. He's buying digital beers.
if that's what it takes, I love that. I mean,
well, in the money, in the top 10.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all the way. I'm in the money, in the top 10, green.
You got a lot of
get paid.
Yeah,
I'm up big on my shorts and getting killed on my longs. I read the chart upside down.
Yeah.
What's kind of interesting about this is look at how well it got to the previous close, and just like clearly that's computer driven. I mean, exactly to that price, and it stopped. Interesting.
Yeah, you got to wonder what kind of bots they're running.
There's no spike or nothing. I mean, it's like right there. It goes up, stops, goes up, stop. It gets spiked.
I will tell you this. There's something about playing at 10 o'clock at night. It's not moving around like when we're doing stock games live.
Yeah.
At the close, I'm like, I'm in 20th, I'm in 5th. I'm in 20th, I'm in 5th.
Well, we definitely nailed it. That there's not there's 1,000,000% more better when you could trash talk each other like this. A million.
Oh, absolutely.
So I got the red message.
There you go. Yeah, I live on the red message.
Bitch slapping me, you suck. In very polite terms.
All right. Well, I'm happy to share once again my in the green.
Very, very nice. Very nice. 15-minute games are kind of cool. They go quick.
Yeah, they are.
All right, so we're going to pick a winner now. We're going to wait. We're still calculating.
No, we can. Yeah, let's go see who won.
Okay,
Put it on.
let me stop, and it's all yours.
Maybe I won something.
There you go.
Yeah, exactly.
Just because you suck doesn't mean that you didn't win.
Exactly.
My Bitcoin position was my P&L on that one was $6,000.
Wow.
$6,000 in
Come on, there we go.
15 minutes.
I got lit up on my longs.
Are you guys seeing my screen here?
Yeah, we're good.
Stakes. Okay.
Run the results. I'm ready.
All right.
Big winners. Remember that game show in the 80s? The no whammies, no whammies.
No whammy, yeah. All right, Jay Rockwell, $25. Hope you're paying attention right now. If not, we'll shoot you an email. And fourth prize, also 25. Adrian, Adrian was actually in first for a while there. Yo, Adrian!
Let's see, third.
Come on, throw Rick a bone. He needs
Yeah,
something.
come on.
There it is.
WGN, man. I feel like I'm watching the Cubs game back in the 80s. That's awesome.
WGN Radio,
Yeah.
4578 on your AM dial.
Here we
That's
go.
right, man.
I got 2 chances to be in it.
All right.
Oh,
Rick Speed.
Oh, my God. Who's that?
Well, hey, he won $75. I mean,
$75. And that's the thing. All you got to do is place. Get in the money.
we're pissed because it's not us, but that
let's
doesn't.
see. Let's see who the grand
Like,
prize
this
is.
joint.
Here we go.
Oh, Tyree.
Oh, Walter, you don't win again.
That's all right, Tyrese. I'm coming for you next time, dude.